Hiya Chris, really good session today. Hope you found it helpful. Just going to run through the things we discussed now from the session. So we start on the left hand side with your setup. As we said, ball for me just a bit too far back in the stance. You can even see if we look down the golf club here now, how he's kind of turned in there, sort of slightly closed kind of fashion. Well, that's going to cause obviously some hooks anyway. And as we said, I think once the ball started hooking and turning to the left, the ball started moving further back in the stance, so you could catch it earlier, send it further right. And then a sort of magnitude of sort of faults sort of occurred from there. Lots of adjustments, lots of different things happening and causing that ball to hit the unmentionable. So you can see on the right hand one now, these two face on images, a much more sort of neutral setup. Club face now in a much better position there. We see the club face now nice and square, and that ball position now in a more forward position. And the thing we've got to try and focus on now is the body working better. You can even see on this left hand when we saw at the start of the video, even sort of the pre-shot movement you'd make, a sort of checking to see where that golf club is, basically just pushing the club there away with your arm to sort of try and get in that perfect position. The problem was that caused you sort of some issues in the backswing when rotation and speed were put into it. And that was sort of one of the things that was causing some of the issues with that swing. So the focus now is going to be getting that torso and body to rotate better as we go back, and that's what's going to move the golf club away now, pushing away with the chest, so you're getting a much more of a rotational movement in the backswing, getting that club working better, a bit wider, as we can see here now, and working on a flatter angle down into the golf ball. You can see on this left-hand one of these down-the-line images, again, club now here quite high when it sort of levels off with the hands there. Top of the backswing, collapsing a little bit here. Don't worry about this at the moment there now as we come back in the golf because of the issues we had there now. That club shaft for me, just a little bit too steep. Kind of looking to sort of get in line with that right form, which you'll see on the right-hand one. But when you're a little bit too steep there with that club coming down, just got a bit stuck and a bit trapped. You already had your head, as we could see, in impact position. And a face-on position here now. The head kind of in front of the golf ball. And just catching that ball basically a little bit too early, as that ball was a bit too far back in the stance. If we look here on the right hand one, doing the drill that we talked about, sort of swinging from 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock, getting much more width in the swing because your arms are moving away with the body. As that club came back down the golf ball here now, much more flatter, efficient angle we can see here now. We go back a frame on this right hand one, getting that club now matching up with the right forearm, getting in a much more efficient position so the club can now work back down the golf ball, striking the sweet spot, and then through to the target with a nice sort of soft draw. Now, whether it draw or fail, like I say, doesn't really bother me. I think if we have the ability to hit both ways, that'll definitely be a benefit for you, someone at your level. But as you said, you need to get a stock shot. What we don't want is that ball being hooking way to the left as you had before, and then you trying to fix that with some of the things you were doing there, trying to take the golf club back perfectly, put the ball further back in the stance, etc, etc. So I hope that all makes sense. Any questions, obviously give me a shout, but work on that setup, ball further forward, and then work on the body working more efficiently, get the engine working better, and then we'll take a look in a couple of weeks' time, sort of the next stage moving on from that once that practice has been done. So say any questions, give me a shout, and I'll see you soon. Cheers, buddy.